I took the job because I needed the money, not because I believed in ghost stories. When someone online offered me $2,000 to stay alone for 3 nights in a remote cabin in the mountains and report anything unusual, I assumed it was some kind of psychological experiment or a prank YouTube channel trying to get content. Either way, rent was due and I didn't have the luxury of saying no. The drive took almost 6 hours. My phone lost signal an hour before I arrived, and the road became nothing but dirt and broken stone cutting through endless trees. When the cabin finally came into view, it looked wrong somehow, like it didn't belong in the world anymore. The wood was dark, almost black, as if it had been burned long ago and rebuilt without care. Inside, the place smelled like old smoke and wet leaves. Everything was neatly arranged, which made it worse. A clean table, a made bed, a chair placed directly in front of the fireplace, like someone had just stood up and walked away. There was no electricity, just oil lamps and a working fireplace. On the table, I found an envelope with my name on it, written in shaky ink. Inside was a single note: do not go outside after dark. If you hear knocking, know you didn't. I laughed when I read it. Nervous laughter, sure, but still laughter. I told myself it was atmosphere, a setup, a game. The first night was quiet, too quiet. No wind, no animals, not even insects. The silence felt thick, like cotton, stuffed into my ears. When I finally tried to sleep, I dreamed of footsteps walking in slow circles around my bed. I woke up sweating, staring into total darkness, convinced I had heard breathing that wasn't mine. The second night is when the knocking started. 3 slow taps against the cabin door. Not loud, not violent, patient. I froze in bed. My heart pounded so loudly I was sure whatever was outside could hear it. The note flashed in my mind. If you hear knocking, know you didn't. Another 3 taps. Closer now. Not the door, the window. I pulled the blanket over my head like a coward and waited for the sound of breaking glass. But it never came. The knocking stopped. And then something touched the wall beside my bed. Not a hand. A dragging sound. Like nails. Too many nails. Scraping slowly along the wood. I didn't sleep at all that night. By morning, I convinced myself it was an animal, a branch, anything but the truth. I went outside to check the window. There were handprints on the glass, but they weren't shaped like hands. Too long, too many fingers. That afternoon, I found a trap door beneath a rug in the cabin. I hadn't seen it before. It led to a small dirt room underneath the floorboards. Inside, I found dozens of photographs nailed to the wall, people standing in front of the same cabin, smiling. Every photo was dated. The most recent one was from last week. The person in it was me. That's when I heard the knocking again, below me, inside the dirt room. The ground started to move, like something was trying to remember which way was up. I ran. I didn't pack. I didn't think. I grabbed my keys and bolted for my car. When I opened the cabin door, cold air rushed in, and the smell of rot hit me so hard I gagged. Something was standing just outside the tree line. Tall. Wrong. Its limbs bent in places limbs shouldn't bend. Its face. God, its face looked like it had been built from pieces of other faces, and it was smiling at me like it had known me my whole life. When I tried to start my car, the engine just clicked. The thing took one slow step forward, then another, and another. I locked myself inside the car and screamed until my throat tore raw. Then, my phone buzzed. No signal, no service, but there was a notification, a photo message. It was a picture of me, sitting in my car, taken from the woods. Then came a text. You stayed longer than the others. Something tapped on the roof, 1 finger at a time. I closed my eyes. When I opened them again, it was morning. The cabin was gone. The forest was gone. I was sitting in my car, parked on the side of a normal highway, with traffic rushing past like nothing had happened. No missed calls, no message, no photo, just one thing. A muddy handprint on the inside of my windshield.